Hello, I'm Tim Hellman.
I'm Jake Tenpass.
This is Movie Talk. Today we're going to review the movie Cabin in the Woods.
Cabin in the Woods is a movie that was directed by Damon Lindelof.
Drew Goddard.
Oh. No, let's stick with it. I'm fine with my my J.J. Abrams collaborator confusion there. So anyway, it's about...
But the guy did collaborate with both Joss Whedon and J.J. Abrams.
Right.
Alias and Lost. And
it was Drew Goddard? You sure it wasn't
I just looked it up today.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, Drew Goddard and Damon Lindelof are the same person.
Okay. You also wrote Cloverfield.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
Cabin in the Woods. It's a movie about... It's a movie about teenagers that go out into the woods to go to a cabin to party and have a good time. Of course, nothing is as it seems.
Yeah. There's a government operation watching them.
For some reason, I mean,
you don't want to give away.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, exactly. It's hard to even talk really about Cabin in the Woods too much without giving some things away. But
that's shown in the very opening scene that there's.
Absolutely. I mean, the movie starts with the sort of revealing of the wizard, if you will, and then it goes from there. But I mean, not an actual wizard, but.
So I think it was a good way to go rather than like waiting halfway through and then revealing that they're.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because that's. Yeah,
well, it definitely sets up the concept, which is that you're watching a movie that's not just. I mean, if it would have been. I mean, I guess you could have made the movie where like the first 45 minutes had been a more traditional, Woodsian slasher film, exactly. But then when the reveal came, it might have been harder to integrate. Whereas I felt like the humorous element was right up front.
It was introduced right in the opening scene.
Yeah.
This is something different.
By the way, this is Sophie, our third guest reviewer today. She's feeling stoic. Cabin in the Woods, I've read everything from it being a really greatly reviewed film to I read one guy that I've briefly followed on Twitter and unfollowed upon this remark that it was the final nail in the coffin of American horror.
What?
I unfollowed him. I didn't even listen to his explanation. I thought it was such a stupid statement. I mean, given how many formulaic dumbass horror films come out, the fact that they attempted to make one that attempted to explain the connecting thread between all horror films was
the basic concept behind this was genius, I thought.
It was really ambitious. It was ambitious, but it didn't feel pretentious. I mean, people will throw the word meta around. But it didn't feel like you were watching some,
That's a new popular word, like pretentious is a popular word.
Yeah. It was so meta.
Or pretentious is a popular word to describe things like that.
Pretentious is a popular word to describe people who use the word meta.
Yeah, that's true.
I would say that the main downside, I would say, of Cabin in the Woods, if I had to say there was a downside, because I basically really enjoyed it throughout. I had a great time. I jumped a few times. I laughed. Like, I genuinely laughed, not like LOL laughing, but I genuinely laughed. I thought there was some great gore in it. I thought they did a great job sending up. I mean, the send up of Japanese horror movies was brilliant and really funny. If you're a fan of horror movies and you love horror as a genre, there's
monster movies.
There's so many great little references to things. I mean,
but I thought the climax was just over the top. I mean, in a good way. It was more than I even bargained.
Without giving anything away, as soon as they go beneath the cabin, I loved it. I was like entranced from that point on.
And it was just more than I even expected. Way more.
And I think if they made that movie to be like a horror fan's nerdy wet dream, they succeeded. They really, it really worked. I will say, without giving anything away, I will say I found the very final shot of the movie, and you know what I'm talking about, to be unimaginative. And I really would have liked something bigger, better, cooler, and weirder for the very final shot. But other than that point, I was with them. I was going to say the one weakness of the movie, to me at least, was I didn't really care. I mean, and maybe this is part of its tribute to horror movies. I didn't care about the people in the cabin. I would have liked to a little bit more, because I think that's one thing that is common among Joss Whedon stuff, is he takes characters that you don't think you're going to care about and he finds ways to make you care about them. He didn't direct this one. Did he write it?
Yeah, he wrote it.
Okay. So, I mean,
with the director.
You could see his touches in it, but I ultimately felt like the characters all served the plot more than they were really characters that you could kind of care about and be three-dimensional living beings in and of themselves. So yeah, I mean, overall, I thought it succeeded what it set out to do, and I've been saying, I mean, we're talking about, that movie, and when you take into consideration that the Avengers came out the same summer, I think Joss Whedon has shown that he can make the transition to movies finally.
He's the guy right now, I think.
Which is great to see, because he's going to derail himself by doing some obscure project next. But I hope he keeps it up. I hope he keeps it up and keeps doing what he's doing, because I thoroughly enjoyed both those films.
So what rating do you give this?
I would give it 3.5 stars.
Just 3.5?
To me, that's a great rating, man.
I thought you were going to go 4 the way you were.
Again, without like characters that I can really care about, and with the final shot being a bit of a letdown for me, and with a few other things. But I mean, to me, 3.5 is a pretty solid rating. It's maybe 3.75. Can you can I get out my calculator and have some decimals in it? Okay.
I go 5 again, but I rate on a different scale. Like, you consider 5 has to be perfect, where I consider I have to have a certain amount of 5-star ratings just to balance. So
well, compared to any other.
5 doesn't mean perfect. It just means this is the top percentage of movies, basically, like top 7% or whatever.
Sure. Sure.
So, yeah.
You play the percentages. I'll continue to be a hard ass bastard. And, we'll go from there.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.